Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Witty Tales. I want to tell you a story that might just change how you see yourself and your idea of success. Because sometimes we spend our lives comparing ourselves to others, wishing we were as smart, as talented, or as confident as someone else. But in doing that, we forget something truly powerful, that each of us already has a gift waiting to be discovered. This is the story of a young boy named David, who learned that lesson in the most unexpected way. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town surrounded by trees and laughter, lived a 12-year-old boy named David. He was an energetic kid, curious, cheerful, and full of dreams. Every afternoon after school, you could find him out on the soccer field, running barefoot through the grass, chasing the ball like it was the only thing that mattered. Soccer wasn't just a game for David. It was freedom. The moment he stepped on that field, all his worries disappeared. Felt alive. But there was one thing that always made him feel small. Math. No matter how much he studied, math just didn't make sense to him. His best friend, Matt, on the other hand, was a genius. Every time the teacher asked a question, Matt's hand shot up. Every time the results came in, Matt's name was right at the top. And David. He'd stare at his paper and sigh. One day, when David got his test back with another low score, he walked home slower than usual. His soccer ball hung loosely in his hand, and his eyes were downcast. When he got home, he dropped his bag, sat on the couch, and opened his math book, only to close it again with frustration. His father, who had been trimming plants in the backyard, noticed something different in his son's face. A quiet sadness. He walked over and asked gently, "David, what's bothering you?" David hesitated for a moment, then whispered, "Dad, no matter how much I try, I can't be good at math like Matt. He's always better. Maybe I'm just not smart enough." His father looked at him for a moment, then smiled. Not a mocking smile, but a calm, understanding one. "Come with me," he said. They stepped into their little backyard garden. The sun was setting, painting everything gold. The air smelled of flowers, and the wind moved softly through the leaves. "David," his father began, "today I'm going to teach you 3 lessons, but not through words. You'll have to earn them." The next morning, his father gave him his first challenge. "Invite Matt to play soccer with you today." David was surprised, but agreed. After school, both boys met at the local field. The grass was still wet from the morning dew, and the air was full of excitement. When the game began, David moved with confidence. He dribbled past his friends easily, his feet light and quick. Within minutes, he scored a goal. Then another, and another. The kids cheered. Meanwhile, Matt stumbled, lost the ball several times, and seemed unsure where to run. When the game ended, David walked home with a bright smile. That evening, he ran to his father and said proudly, "Dad, I played soccer with Matt today. I scored 3 goals, and he could barely keep up." His father smiled. "And that," he said, "is your first lesson. Matt may not be good at soccer, but he's great at math. You see, everyone has their own strengths. Never compare your weakness to someone else's strength. Focus on what you're good at. That's where your gift lies." David nodded, slowly understanding. The next day, his father gave him a second challenge. "Tomorrow at school, pay attention to Matt. Watch what he does during the day, how he spends his time." So David did. Throughout the day, he observed Matt quietly. During class, Matt was solving math problems for fun. During lunch, he was playing number puzzles. Even during recess, he was calculating things, the number of steps between classrooms, the petals on a flower, even the number of soccer goals scored by their favorite team. That evening, David told his father everything. "Dad, he's always thinking about numbers. Even when he's not studying, he's practicing." His father nodded with a smile. "That's your second lesson, son. We get better at what we love and what we practice. Matt is great at math because he enjoys it. He finds joy in it. And you're great at soccer because you love it enough to play every day." David smiled, realizing how true that was. Then came the final challenge. "David," his father said, "how much better do you think Matt is at math than you are?" David thought for a moment and said, maybe 3 times better. Then tomorrow, his father said, study math 3 times harder. David agreed, determined to prove himself. After school, he sat down with his books and started studying. An hour passed. Then 2. Then 3. His eyes burned and his head began to ache. Eventually, exhausted, he laid his head on his desk and fell asleep. Later that night, he felt a gentle hand on his shoulder. His father was there, smiling softly. "Wake up, son. Dinner's ready." David rubbed his eyes, embarrassed. "I'm sorry, Dad," he said quietly. "I couldn't finish. I studied so much that my head hurt." His father chuckled and said gently, "And that's your 3rd lesson, David. When you try to master something you don't love, it feels heavy. But when you do what you love, effort feels easy. So if you want to be truly great, either do what you love or learn to love what you do." That night, David couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about his father's words. The next morning, he decided to change how he studied. Instead of dreading math, he began connecting it with soccer, calculating scores, statistics, angles, and passes. Slowly, math started to make sense. Weeks turned into months, and one day, David came running home, holding his report card high in the air. "Dad, I did it. I got an A in math." His father smiled and hugged him proudly. "Now you've learned the real secret to success," he said. It's not about being better than others. It's about being better than you were yesterday. So, my friend, if you're watching this right now, maybe you re-liked David, comparing yourself to someone else and feeling like you will never be good enough. But remember, you have your own strengths, your own light, your own timing. Don't let comparison steal your confidence. Don't let failure stop your growth. And don't forget, the real secret to success is simple. Find your strength, practice it with love, and never stop believing in yourself. If this story touched your heart, hit a like, share it with someone who needs encouragement today. And subscribe to the Wordy Tailies for more stories that inspire your heart and strengthen your English. Until next time.